Let's go. Only so much time today, my friends. Everything has changed. Everything's changed. Time is of the essence. We're going to dive right in today, talk about some fantasy cruncher NFL. What up, chat? Let's freaking go. Let's go. Let's go. What up, E-Rise? First off, I really like you guys are making side bets about how I'm wearing my hat. Cool. Tap, bro, what up, dude? Saw that $300 win last night. Congrats, Ice Maker. Good to see you. Beer, 916. Morning, man. All right, guys, is the half forward or backwards? Yep. Yep. I went inside out and upside down today, so I hope you enjoyed that one. What's up, Bingham? Hewitt, T-Stall, Rally Cap. Pretty much. Appreciate y'all. This is pretty funny. I was laughing when I saw that. I had to join in. What's up, Signal? Maybe a beanie, he says. Probably not. But maybe, I don't know, maybe if it gets cold enough, this bald dome, I do get a little cold. What's up, Money Heel? My two favorite emotes on earth, the nukes and the donuts. What up, Papa Wiles, Rojo, Wags? What's up, man? I hope you're finding some success. You got to tag me in the Ronin channel, bro. I got you, Nate. I got you covered. It's going to be a great week. We have made it. Kelmex Tex, and Maney Mac. That's a good name. What up, C to Best? Welcome back, my friend. Seville, Become Legendarius. All my friends are here today. What's up, Bennett? Buck T. Good to see you. Just got back from Cancun. Sweet humble brag, by the way. Playing baseball for the first time today. Congrats, my man. I hope you were using some of your DFS winnings. I've seen you smash this year. You've been crushing. By the way, it is September. I'm supposed to say that. Apparently, that's what streamers are doing on Twitch. It's September. It means something cool about like discounts or something. Cool. So there you go. If you want to sign up, you get access to our Discord as well for being a Twitch sub or a YouTube subscriber. I forgot. I'm live over there on YouTube as well. So let me see if there's anybody over there on YouTube today and they're chatting or whatnot, and I'll say hi to them. I probably missed their chats. I don't know how to see those. What's up, YouTube? Good to see you. Hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube. If you hit that join button down below there, you get access to our Discord as well. Now, what I did is I went to the NFL Study Hub. I grabbed the projections. Again, this is going to be fast. It's hard hitting now. It's hard hitting season. Super efficient, right? Hyper efficient content. Uploaded the projections right here into Fantasy Cruncher, and let's do some work. Now, I have this how to build winning NFL DFS lineups for Draftkings and FanDuel via Fantasy Cruncher. So this, who is that? Mickey, what's up, buddy? Thank you very much for that. I appreciate ya. 100 bits. Thank you very much, my friend. That's going into the coaching jar. I've talked to CG about this before. Anytime I get donations and things like that, that's how I end up using that to give the coaches more money. They earn it. They earn every freaking penny. So thank you for that. That's going to get turned around and used on the people that matter most to me, which is those guys who work hard for everybody. So here we go. This I'm going to drop in chat because I know not everybody has had a chance to see this. This is up live on the website as well, but I posted it here on YouTube. This is something I need all of you to watch. It's a little bit longer, 18-minute video, but NFL is very, very peculiar. There's a lot of specific ways you have to use FC to put yourself in a good position to win. So if I do today's stream and you're like, man, Mitch, that was like right over my head, or it felt too fast, make sure you go back and watch this. I talk about a lot of things like setting up your rules and things of that nature, your settings. I talk about limit rules, which are very important. So, and then I run out some crunches and I make some edits to the rules and things that I was remembering while I was doing the video. So please check that video out, hit that like button while you're watching it, and that should put you in a good position to win. First things first today, chat. As we go, remember, this is going to be a 20-minute stream right here. I'm going to end right around 1 o'clock. These midday streams are going to be faster, and then our nighttime streams are going to be a little bit longer here. So today is our last kind of tutorial, get ready, prepare day. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we're doing straight analysis. We're going to build some lineups together and do that on single entry as well. So I'll open up DraftKings, do a DraftKings day, open up FanDuel, do a FanDuel day. All right, here we go. My, oh my, the webcam is closed. Should I just keep it closed? I feel like I should keep it closed. We'll leave it open. You can see my dome, see my face. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, always go in here and, well, it's first thing because if you missed the setup stream, I have already done all this. I have gone in, I have set up my uniques, I set up my salary. I have what I currently will use, probably going to be 50% today. Randomness, I am going to show you how I use randomness. We're going to put it at 0%. The generic settings I showed for the tutorial video are a little bit different. And then in your position stacks, I made a bunch of rules. If you're like, Mitch, what are these things and how do I use them? What's up, Eagle6? Good to see you, my friend. If you're like, Mitch, what are these rules and how do I use them? How do I set them up? Make sure you watch the YouTube video. That's extremely important. I'm not going to go over them again right now, but basically what you're doing is you're telling Fantasy Cruncher that in every single lineup, I want certain parameters to be hit. I want certain things to always happen in the lineup. For instance, I'll give you one example. Right here, it says limit running backs from same team to one player. That is something I added right here in the limit rule. That is so that if I make a lineup, I don't end up with somehow Devin Singletary and Zach Moss in the same lineup, or I don't have Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb in the same lineup. By having this rule, limit running back from same team to one player, that means FC will never put a lineup together using your projections, which better be the rise or fall projections, my friends. If you use our projections and you use an FC, you'll never have a lineup that has more than one running back from the same team in the same lineup. And then I set up this other limit rule. Extremely important. If you want to know why, watch the YouTube video or your lineups are going to be totally screwed up and you're going to be hurting. You're going to be hurting. I promise you, your lineups are going to get crushed. You got to set the proper rule sets up here or you're going to end up with multiple stacked lineups that don't even have the quarterback involved. It's going to be disgusting. You're going to lose money. You have to set it up. Same with the groups. The groups are set up properly how I wanted them set up for each and every quarterback. You have to go through here and set them up how you would like to, at least one, between 0 and 2, whatever, at most 5, whatever you decide, you're going to set it up your own way. I showed you how to set it up and I showed you how I do it with my generic settings, but it takes a little bit more manipulation after that to put yourself in a position to win. And if you're wondering right now, oh my gosh, Mitch, I don't know what you're saying. You have to go watch that YouTube video that I dropped in the chat link. I would drop it one more time for anybody new watching. It's extremely important. The limit rules and things of that nature are very important to put yourself in a position to feel like you're going to go about it creating the proper lineups. That's like roster construction 101 pretty much is what the settings are for. Now, we're going to talk about randomization for each specific position, and I have a personal opinion on this, and I think it's a decent angle. Who knows if it's the right one, but I'm sharing what I do. I think here with NFL, each and every position is a little bit more volatile than the other ones, or less volatile than the other ones, and I want to apply a randomness factor to each position based on how. Hey, what's up, Dave? Thank you very much, 13-month subscriber. You're the best. I love you, bro. So if you are somebody who is saying to yourself, well, man, Mitch, the running back position, a little bit more easy to predict. It's a higher workload, a little bit higher volume. You can, certain roles for certain players. And there's somebody who's going to get, 20 touches a game. All right, well, cool. Well, maybe our randomness for the running back position should be lower. And then the more volatile positions should be a little bit higher. So I'm using FC Pro, the greatest thing on earth. I am going to add for the running back position. Yes, what's up, my friends? Hey, Allie, good to see you dropping the FC Flames. I appreciate that. 13 is GOAT. I think 13 might be the amount of months I've been streaming, so you're an OG, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Dave. Let's see here. UNC, good to see you, my friend. What's up, Smokin' Obe? I hope we can turn around those the MME life with you in chat. I saw your post on Discord late last night or this morning. We'll get you turned around, my friend. What's up, Valencia? Enjoy your tour today over at Alex's pad. So good to see you. I'm happy you swung by here. What's up, Signal R2177? What up? All right, so we're talking about randomness being different at each position. And remember, if you are someone who is like Mitch, well, I missed everything else before this. I don't know how to set up groups. I don't know what position rules are or limit rules. What kind of settings do you use? Well, let me drop it here in chat one more time. Right there. Okay, do you see it? That is the YouTube tutorial I made last night. It's an 18-minute video because NFL takes a little bit more of being a puppet master. I think there's a lot more strings to pull. There's a lot more things to pay attention to. So if you want to learn how to set up generic settings, you want to learn how to set up rules, and these are very basic. These will put you in a good position to build, but you have to take some extra steps after that, which we'll be doing here on the stream, like today. I did not cover this in the video. So running back is a position where I feel like I don't need much randomness included. I think it's it's not so like catch dependent or touchdown dependent. You're worried about their workload. So I'm going to give the running back position a 10% randomness. I'm using FC Pro. So if you're using Classic, 3%, maybe 5%, something low I would suggest. All right, so running backs, I think they are fairly projectable, fairly predictable, so I'm giving them a little bit lower randomness. The quarterback position, now here's my take, and this is my own personal one. If I were to set a straight 10% pro randomness across every position, it's not going to carry equal weight because the quarterback position inherently is going to be projected to score more points. That's just how it works. We have guys here with 26, 21, 20, 20, 19, 19, 18-point projections. If I go over to the running back position, we might have a couple of those, right? 1, 2 guys, 3 guys. And then down here, the drop-off is ridiculous. It's a precipitous drop-off after the top 4, precipitous drop-off. And it drops down to 15, 14, 13. I mean, these are like the bottom 5 or 6 projected quarterbacks at this range right now. And we're talking about a top 12 running back. So at the quarterback position, because I don't want like a very wide range of outcome with their projection, I'm going to keep my randomization quite low for them. Actually will be the lowest for every single position out of all the positions. So I'm going to put in a FC Pro randomization of 5%. And I hope that makes sense. I can tell you a little bit more about this as we stream together every single week. And remember, oh, by the way, let me show you this. I meant to do this first, but I know because this is a half-hour stream, I'm trying to like blow through so many things at one time. The new Fancy Cruncher stream schedule right here. We'll have lineup study and lineup rewind on Monday and Tuesday. The 7:50 time slots, or for prime time showdown slate coverage. That's right, I'm going to do pre-locks. The other days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday will be lineup building days. It'll be like a Draftkings day, a FanDuel day, and then we'll do like a single entry day or something like that on Friday, or I don't know. We'll figure out what Friday's going to be. I'm kind of figuring that out. And then Sunday morning at 10:30, which by the way, I might flex a little bit earlier. I'm going to talk to the people in Discord and see what works best. We're going to have a pre-lock stream here. I'm not entirely sure how long, but extremely important. That is where I will go over all of my exposures across Yahoo, Super Draft, FanDuel, and Draftkings each and every Sunday morning. I'm going to show you all of my positions, every single site, and my exposures, how I got there and why I went that route. You love that video? Thank you very much, Papa Wiles. That YouTube video was a good one to make. I love making tutorials. I'm a huge nerd. Huge nerd. The consistency column can also help guide your randomness. It's a scale of 0 to 100. You will notice the QBs are more consistent than wide receivers, for example. It's pretty common sense when you think about it. The QBs have the ball in their hands every snap. Phenomenal. Dave, and what you're saying right there about the consistency column over here on the right, we are pretty much mirroring that with our randomization factors, and you're going to see that as we close out these final 3 positions. So quarterback, because they have those high projected points, I keep them semi-low. Running backs, because they have fairly high volume, I keep them at around 10%, and then we're going to get a little funky here as we go down the rest of this list. Wide receivers, they are very boom or bust, very similar to tight ends. They are either dependent on being a PPR type wide receiver or touchdown dependent. It is very rare that you have somebody that is both. The ones that are both, you have to pay an arm and a leg for. And if you're paying an arm and a leg for these guys, most likely I think the best opportunity to use guys like that is to have them stacked. It is going to be a rare occasion that Michael Thomas goes off for 12 catches, 120 yards, 2 scores, and Drew Brees did not have a good day. So when I pay up for these types of players, these 7, 8, 9K type plays, I am often going to make sure that I have them paired with their quarterbacks. I don't think it's going to be a day where you have Devontae Adams catching 150 yards on 12 catches and 1 score that, Rodgers doesn't end up with 2 or 3 touchdowns and pay off his price tag as well. When you're paying down, Tyler Lockett's, DJ Moore, Stephon Diggs, these guys can have phenomenal days and their quarterbacks can have subpar fantasy outings. So I want to embrace some of that volatility by jacking up the randomness a little bit here. And if you're using FC Pro, feel free to just go nuts here, 20, 25, 30, 40, whatever you feel comfortable with having on that distribution curve, do it. If you're using Classic, again, 5 to 10%. I have the FC Pro, so I will have it at about 15 to 25% on any given week. It is entirely based on the price points of the wide receivers. As I have talked about before with all things DFS, the landscape, it's ever shifting. It's always changing. There's no one set rule. This 15% is not like, well, every single week I have 15% randomization on my wide receiver. That's not how you play DFS. Well, something that worked last week might be completely put the next week. It might no longer be the thing or the optimal way to build. So this week, because I love their prices, I mean, these are very cheap to pay up for these guys. The only guy that's expensive here is Michael Thomas. And I think they're pretty good price tags. Like Chris Godwin, 7.1K is like steal. So I have it about 15%. Next, we're going to slide over tight end, where the high-end tight ends, and bear with me here, we are going to set this at about 20 to 25, maybe 30% or so. But I am going to keep it a little bit lower on the high-end tight ends. These guys are not these massive floor and ceiling combinations where Discord link is invalid. It should not be. Is it? No kidding. I'll have to edit that in Nightbot for you. No problem. I'll add a new one. Shoot. Anyways, I'll do that in like 5 minutes. Bear with me, okay? Let me get through the tight end stuff. So you're looking at this high-end tight ends, and these players are they're a little bit more predictable, right? Like these guys have 8+ targets per game. George Kittle, these guys are going to catch potentially 100 yards. Touchdowns, fairly random depending on the player. So I'm going to have their randomness a little bit lower. And you could do this at some of the other positions as well and go by the specific player and adjust accordingly. So if you think that Kittle, Andrews, and Ertz have a fairly high floor, well then do that. Set it up so that they have a lower randomization. Defense is going to be similar. I think there's some defenses that just have a higher floor each and every week, or maybe it's based on their matchup. But this is entirely going to, their points, by the way, are entirely going to be based off, and this is how you should be building your lineups. You're looking for sacks, turnovers, and touchdowns. All three of those things often happen more frequently when that team is in the lead. Now, everybody, let's check that out. Allie, if you did it, you are the best. You did it. Did you happen to change what Nightbot does? I even have old affiliate links for Fantasy Cruncher. I got to edit those. I'm not an affiliate over there. You didn't change it, but it worked? Well, that's weird. Why did it... The Discord, the Nightbot link works, but not Streamlabs. Okay, Streamlabs, you suck. So Nightbot set up. Streamlabs, I'll have to delete that. So Mackie Brah, go ahead and hit that one that is in the Nightbot link. That's the Nightbot link. That one will work for you. Okay, so a lot of people have this misconception that defenses, you're worried about low implied team totals. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. That's incorrect. It's been proven over the years that the teams that are playing with bigger leads, regardless of the score, it could be 40 to 20, and that team up by 20 points in the final 15 minutes has an opportunity to face the opposing team who is down by 20 in the fourth quarter. Hey, X-Pro, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. 11 months. Very, very kind. Thank you for your support. The opposing team, now down by 3 touchdowns, has to throw the ball. They have to air it out. They've got to throw like 80% of the time. So guess what the opposing defense gets to do? They get to pin their ears back and rush the passer in basically every single possession and every single down, having a higher frequency of throws happening. Well, when that happens, more opportunity for sacks, more opportunities for interceptions, strip sack, fumble recoveries, pick six, things like that. The teams that are just have those implied team totals of like 14, right? But the spread is only 5 points. You got a game that's like 19-14, for the Vegas total or something. That is not the ideal scenario. Give me the scenario where you have a team that's like a 12-point favorite. I don't care what the underdog's implied total is. I don't care if it's 23. I don't care if the implied score is 35-23. That team with a 12-point spread is a better DFS target than the team that has a 5-point spread, but they have a lower implied team total. That's completely irrelevant. Often that can be one of those games where it's very slow, control the clock scenario. The other teams maybe not throwing the ball a lot, possession type ball game. Those are boring. They're not good for fantasy points. So you're looking for teams, bad quarterbacks, big spreads. Okay. Defense, as Dave alluded to earlier, extremely volatile. You each and every week will see teams that are, down here, have a pick six and end up being a top 3 scoring defense on this entire slate. A team like the Vikings can end up being the first, the top scoring defense of the game, even against Aaron Rodgers. It takes a single pick six and it happens. Or the Cardinals, maybe their defensive pressure gets after Jimmy G and he has a couple fumbles or something. I mean, this area is often where you will find the best value, the best defensive plays. Carolina here against Jared Goff. We're looking at spreads. We're looking for cheaper upside plays, things like that. So now I have set my randomization up differently across every single position, and I took it one step further at the tight end position where I gave specific players different randomization. Now, if you want to go back and do this, you can do it on your own way and on your own time as well and set it up a little bit differently. Maybe Lamar Jackson has 0% randomization. Maybe you love his floor because of his running ability. So you put his randomization at 0%. And then a guy who is extremely volatile like Matt Ryan, who, well, he is at home at 6.7K. He's one of those guys that potentially throws for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns or something, or he has one of these pedestrian games of 270 yards passing and nothing, right? So maybe he's somebody who you have a higher volatility type range, so you give him a higher randomization. There's nothing wrong with giving individual randomizations. Again, this is why I've talked about this week, that NFL, you have a week to set it up, and I suggest you take advantage of it. Now, I will show you some analysis type stuff over the next few days, but I will not build my lineups till probably Saturday night, maybe even Sunday morning before my live stream at 10:30 a.m. Hit that sub button on Twitch and YouTube. Those, make sure you don't miss out. Hit that notification bell. Those are going to be fun. Sunday mornings were an absolute party last year. So I've got all this set up. Now what? All right. Well, the first thing we did, we set up all our general settings. We made our groups. What's up, CG? I see you, my friend. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Late or not, I'm happy you're here, brother. Later, Smoking Obe. Make sure you come back. Watch this video log later. You can do that because you are a Twitch subscriber. I appreciate you, buddy. Have a good rest of the day at work. All right, so I set up my settings, I set up my limit rules, I set up my randomization, and now the last thing I need to do is make my player pool. Now, there are multiple different ways to do this. I am pretty old school here. I like to go through and I'm going to create my player pool position by position. I know some people will leave every single player in and then set up so many rules here and so many limit rules and things that, and they'll even use the team stacking tab, which I don't personally use, but they'll do this to set it up to the point where they don't need to touch their player pool. They just have so many rules and things in place. The problem with that for me is I like to control my quarterback exposure. So you're going to see it real quick. I am going to go team by team. I'm going to team by team. And oh, here we go. I'm going to increase my projected scores here for the quarterback position because I don't want the backups in there. I don't care about them. Okay, so now I have my starters. This is what I was looking for. I am going to go team by team. I'm going to pick the quarterbacks that I want. I have an understanding, a generic understanding of my stacking opportunities here. You know, Murray with DeAndre Hopkins, things like that. I'm going to plug in the guys that I'm looking to stack with. Teddy Bridgewater is going to be extremely important to have in your player pool this week. He's going to be very popular. Trubisky, yeah, you better believe he's in play this week. I'm not touching the rookies. Love Baker Mayfield this year, especially if they're down by 25 points here against the Ravens. Yes, Baker's going to drop back 40-plus times. I think he's in a bounce-back spot. We got Matty Ice here. I'm not touching a divisional game first week, Rodgers versus Vikings. You know, this is just initials. Will I come back to this and change it? Yeah, potentially I might. But here we go. Let's just make this initial pool real quick. Let's sort it by projections. Breeze, Russell, Brady Wentz. Nope. We'll go Jimmy G. I like that price tag, 5'8". Tyrod, never been a guy. I wrote this article about Tyrod Taylor, some notes on him. Has one game in his 45 career starts, I think. I remember the stat. Was one game over in 45 starts with over 300 yards passing. And he only had, I think, 12 games with 2 touchdowns or more. And the other 33 starts were 1 or less. Anybody who thinks there's going to be some passing value out of the Chargers, I'm sorry. I am sorry. Okay, this is just like a loose pool. So I have my quarterback set up. Running backs, make sure you change your filters here, okay? We'll go kind of low. Just for the sake of time, since I see I only have like 5 minutes left to stream, let's just grab these guys, okay? We'll just plug them in. I'm intrigued to see what happens out of Detroit this week. All right, whatever. We've got initial player pools. Plug in a bunch of wide receivers. I'm going to drag and drop. Again, going to go back through this. Of course, I will go back through this and make an actual player pool. But for the sake of this example here, we'll do it a little bit differently. Tight ends, quarterbacks, defenses. Those are the 3 positions that matter the most to select your actual player pool. I'm not trying to have guys down here in my player pool. They're just way too volatile. You know, the Uzmas of the world are often not going to return the value you need. Give me Dallas Goedert at 4.1K. I'll pay for him, chalk or not, over, you know, Irv Smith Jr. I'm sorry, but, you know, the hype train's ridiculous. I'm not playing some of these guys down here. No thanks. Let me see who else. Jasecki, yeah, Hurst, Hooper, Herndon, Hawkinson. All right, there we go. And defense, same thing. Remember, quarterbacks, tight ends, defenses. I like to pick them. Miami, Washington. I'm looking at the opponents real quick. That's all I care about. Like, are you playing the Saints defense against Tampa no matter what the projected points are? I'm not. Sorry. Not going against Tom Brady. Something to prove in a new home, right? I mean, give me some Jets, maybe some turnovers against Josh Allen. So, I mean, here we go. I mean, so this is what you do. Pick your defenses, whatever you have. That's too many. You got your defenses. All right, now I'm ready to rock and roll. I've got 111. I have all of my things set up. Now, a lot of people might go down here and they... okay, CG, whatever you say, buddy. It's a pipe dream. Now, a lot of people will just do this. You got your rules set up and everything, right? You're ready to rock and roll. Go ahead. You can let it rip. That's fine. You can do this if you want. Personally, maybe I'm just a control freak, but I go down each and every quarterback and I give them a certain amount of exposure. I do. I lock them in for X amount of lineups I want to crunch out, and boom, I bang them out, and I move on to the next quarterback, which means if I wanted Lamar Jackson for 25 of my 150, I lock him in for my 25, and then I take him out of my player pool, and he no longer gets any usage. Does that make sense? I want to control, I want to have specific exposures to my Lamar Jackson lineups, and I will show you how to do this on our next stream. So here we are. If I wanted to look at my Lamar Jackson, I'll click the little search bar, and there we go. I can see my lineups. I can see, okay, I've got a little game stack set up here, right? Odell Beckham with Marquise Brown and Lamar Jackson. And how I'm getting these, which, by the way, these are beautiful lineups, if I must say. These are set up in my groups. I've got groups set up so that when Lamar Jackson is keyed in, so go back and watch that YouTube video. Go watch the YouTube video. It's very important. When you have Lamar Jackson keyed in, which means he's in the lineup, a certain amount of players out of my specific player pool that I set for Lamar Jackson will get used. And then every single lineup will have somebody on the opposite side in this game stack. And I got that accomplished by doing it right here in my position stacks, setting up a QB with at least one wide receiver or tight end from the opposing team. Again, if you want to know how to do all this, check out that YouTube video. Make sure you come back, watch future streams. I will see you again tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern for another half hour, quick hitting, hyper efficient stream. Thank you very much for your support today. Today was a good day. Tomorrow, we're going to do some DraftKings lineup building. Thursday, we'll do some FanDuel. And then Thursday night, we have the 7:50. Let's see. We have the 7:50 p.m. Eastern pre-lock showdown slate stream, and then potentially that will turn into a DFS sweat show, and we're going to watch some football together, baby. If you are somebody who's like, man, I love what I saw today, or wow, I want to check out this website, I want to get their MLB study up for today, which, by the way, let me show you one cool thing that CG added yesterday, and you want access here, go to teamriserfall.com, go ahead and sign up. All of our members actually get a $20 free credit to Fantasy Cruncher every single month if you're a RONIN member. Thanks to Dave, if he's still around. Santa Dave, the man, the myth, the legend, has given every single member $20 to FC. Use it how you want. Use it on Light, Premium, Pro, and get yourself the sweet hookup. You get that every month that you're with us. So, Dave, if you're around, again, bro, I love you, man. Thank you very, very much. So here we go. CG set up the trend stacks. I love this. I love this a lot. This is really cool. It's a very quick way to see who are the best looking teams based on their splits over the last 50 plate appearances against that pitcher's hand. So if I go over here and I'm looking at better trends, and I see Atlanta, Acuna Jr., is a righty against Sixto Sanchez. Good pitcher, by the way. Another righty. He has a 583 WOBA, 641 ISO in his last 50 plate appearances against a righty. Well, check it out. In the trend stacks, that number, those numbers here, if you click this little plus sign, these numbers right here all add up to make a team trend. So we can see that Atlanta has the best WOBA, and they also have the best ISO against right-handed pitchers over the last 50 at-bats. I love this. It is not the end-all, be-all, but what I like what CG did for this is it lets you know very quickly, just quick team stacks, quick team trends, and then you can dig in a little bit. Then go do some research on those teams. So it's like a way where you're looking at it, you're like, oh my gosh, there's 22 teams today. I can't research this. There's too many teams. I'll never be able to do it. I get overwhelmed with numbers, blah, blah. Well, you know, guys, gals, check it out. Here's your 5 targets. Atlanta, Washington, San Diego, Dodgers, White Sox. These are 5 targets, 5 offenses to build around. And if you go and you're studying here and you're looking at, who they're facing, and you find out, you're like, well, actually, I'm kind of worried about Sixto Sanchez. Okay, well then you go back here. Guess what? Don't target Atlanta today. Go down to the next offense, San Francisco, and you pick out your 5, your 4 to 6 or so offenses that are your favorite ones out of this little list here, and you build your lineups from that. I hope that helps you. I think it's really efficient. It's really cool. We will continue to add as many neat little things that are going to be helpful to help people be successful at DFS, and I hope this stream is one of those things that you add to your toolbox that is able to help you out, be successful. Rise or Fall just wants to support you in every single way possible. All things MME, all things single entry. We're there for you. We will see you in Discord. And remember, my friends, be back here tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Together, we rise.